Well, come to MindShift Daily channel. Time is the one resource we can never get back. No matter how rich you are, how powerful, how brilliant once a moment passes, it's gone forever. And yet, how often do we find ourselves letting it slip through our fingers? We delay, we doubt, we distract ourselves. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow. We say we're not ready. But the truth is, the clock is ticking whether we move or not. And the longer we wait, the more we hand over our potential to fear, comfort, and uncertainty. Don't waste your time. Life is far too precious, and you have far too much potential to spend it standing still. You were born with something inside you that's meant to grow, to evolve, to push boundaries not just for your sake, but for everyone who might be impacted by your courage to rise. The question is not whether you have what it takes, the question is whether you'll decide to use what you have right now, before the moment passes. A growth mindset isn't just a concept, it's a way of living. It means believing that you can develop your abilities, learn new skills, and evolve as a human being no matter where you started. It means looking at failure not as a wall, but as a stepping stone. It's understanding that greatness doesn't come from luck or talent alone. It comes from persistence, from choosing to show up again and again, when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one is clapping. The people you admire, those who've built empires, created change, lived passionately, they didn't get there by wasting time. They got there by owning their time, by making it count, by pushing themselves even when the world told them they were crazy. And more importantly, by viewing every challenge as a training ground. That's the growth mindset in action. And it's available to you right now. Think about it. How much time have you spent worrying about things outside your control? How much energy have you given to regrets, to past mistakes, to people who never saw your worth? What if, instead, you took all that energy and channeled it into becoming the person you're capable of being? What if you stopped asking for permission and started building? The world doesn't need another person playing small. It needs someone who's willing to rise up, take responsibility, and grow through every obstacle. That's what makes a life meaningful, not perfection, but progress. Not avoiding failure, but learning from it. And that starts the moment you decide your time is too valuable to waste. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, I am who I am. I can't change. This is just how things are. But a growth mindset says, I can improve. I can learn. I can become more. This shift is subtle, but it's everything. When you start to believe that your future isn't dictated by your past, that your limits are just starting lines, you start to reclaim your time. You start to spend it on things that move you forward. Reading, training, building, connecting, reflecting. You stop waiting for the perfect moment because you realize the perfect moment is the one you act in. That's how people rise. Not because they were born special, but because they stopped wasting time waiting for someone else to tell them they could grow. Take the story of J.K. Rowling. Before the world knew her as the author of Harry Potter, she was a single mother on welfare, battling depression, struggling to make ends meet. She could have wasted her time feeling sorry for herself, blaming the world, waiting for circumstances to improve. But she didn't. She wrote in cafes while her baby slept. She faced rejection after rejection from publishers. But she kept going. She had a growth mindset, one that said, I may not be there yet, but I will be if I don't give up. And look at what happened. Her books didn't just change her life, they inspired millions of others. That's the power of owning your time and committing to your growth. Or consider the example of Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. What most people forget is that he failed over 1,000 times before he found the right solution. 1,000 failures. Most would have stopped after a dozen. But Edison saw failure differently. He famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the growth mindset. That's the refusal to waste time lamenting mistakes. Instead, he used each failure as information, as a stepping stone to success. What if you treated your setbacks the same way? What if, instead of seeing them as reasons to stop, you saw them as signs you're getting closer? Every day you are given 24 hours. That's 1,440 minutes. What you do with them matters. Are you using them to build the life you want? Or are you spending them scrolling, doubting, hesitating? Are you feeding your growth or feeding your fear? You don't need more time, you need more direction, more discipline, more belief in yourself. And that comes from understanding your why. Why do you want to grow? Why does it matter to you to stop wasting time? Is it because you're tired of feeling stuck? Because you know you're meant for more? Whatever your reason, hold on to it. Let it fuel you. Let it drive your decisions. Because when your why is strong enough, your excuses don't stand a chance. Let's talk about discipline. People often think discipline means being rigid, being harsh on yourself. But true discipline is a form of self-respect. It's saying, my time is valuable. My goals matter. I deserve to live a life of purpose. Discipline is what bridges the gap between intention and action. It's what turns a dream into a plan. It's waking up early to train your body even when you'd rather sleep. It's choosing to read and learn instead of binging another show. It's showing up for your business, your craft, your growth even when no one is watching. Discipline is freedom, because when you master your habits, you master your life. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest time wasters there is. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. But here's the truth, fear will never go away completely. It's part of being human. The goal is not to eliminate fear, it's to move through it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of it. Every time you take a step forward despite being afraid, you grow. You build confidence. You gain momentum. And momentum is everything. Once you start, even small wins compound. One action leads to another. One change in mindset leads to a shift in results. That's how transformation happens, not overnight, but over time with consistent action fueled by belief. The most powerful thing you can do today is take responsibility. Not blame, not shame, responsibility. Responsibility means recognizing that your life is in your hands, that your time is your own, that you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This is where your power lives, in your response, in your ability to adapt, to learn, to choose growth over stagnation. When you stop waiting for the world to change and start working on changing yourself, you become unstoppable. And suddenly, time starts working for you, not against you. In your personal life, this mindset shift can change everything. Instead of arguing with your partner about the same issues, you can choose to grow in communication. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you can grow in self-acceptance and gratitude. In your health, you can stop waiting for the perfect workout plan and start with small daily habits. Drink more water, take a walk, meditate. Each action counts. Each moment you invest in yourself adds up. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Because growth isn't about giant leaps, it's about daily steps. In your professional life, the growth mindset is a game changer. If you hate your job, don't waste time complaining. Use that energy to build skills, to network, to explore. Take an online course. Start a side hustle. Ask for feedback. Seek out mentors. Stop waiting for opportunity to knock and start building the door. Remember, success isn't given, it's earned through effort, resilience, and time well spent. The people who rise are not the ones who had it easy, they're the ones who decided to make something out of what they had. Let's get real. You will have setbacks. You will get tired. You will face moments where it feels like nothing's working. That's normal. That's part of the process. But you can't let those moments steal your drive. You can't let a bad day turn into a bad week, a bad year, a wasted life. You have to remind yourself that growth is messy. It's not linear. There will be plateaus and dips and doubts. But if you keep showing up, if you keep using your time with intention, you will break through.